Hello, my name is Leo. Welcome back to another episode of Heartland 3 in Black Ice as PRC. So in the previous episode we managed to reach the battle line, or the river line over here I believe, and then we did manage to get a bit more ground in Taiwan, although there's still very big battles going on in here, which we're hopefully trying to get, or hopefully winning soon, but it's easier said than done. We could probably go ahead and do a bit of a ground attack over there. And then I suppose these ones doing the port strikes, we're just going to let you rest for a little while. Ah, there's one of the mountaineers over here that definitely needs to pull back. Do we have any more? Okay, we don't really have much of a reserve going on in here. So that's unfortunate. But the main part of this battle currently for Pingdong is just to keep the enemy busy so they won't send more troops in here for Taidong. Although they are still having some troops moving in there. But the enemy units in there are mostly in pretty bad shape. So we should be able to probably punch through there. That was heading north. Oh, right, so we've got a reinforcement in here. That's going to be ready in 2 days. That can join in the combat. And of course, we've got the combat for Busan already going on. And it looks like our brother's actually doing a pretty good job at leading the combat right now. So that's good news. And if we can just start shredding through some of these enemy units, that would be also quite handy. But that will take some time. Oh, and there we go. We found some of the enemy bombers in here, but we didn't deal enough damage. Unfortunately, but we found them again. And we also didn't do all that much damage in there. But that is unfortunate. And, oh, we got actually room in our production. What the heck did we just complete then? Alright, we've not actually kept up there. Let's see. A lot of infrastructure has been completed. Okay. Also, I suppose we probably have the mechanized, or the, yeah, the general's got the mechanized infantry at least recently. Okay, well, I suppose we've gotten the tier 2... Actually, no, did we get the tier 2... oh, yeah, we did get the tier 2 light bombers already. In that case, let's go ahead and get another light bomber air group. I like having at least one twin-engine fighter on most of the bomber crews, just so that there's a little bit of fighting capabilities in there in case, you know, they get attacked. We're still doing a lot of bombing runs in Korea, which doesn't fill me with too much hope. But again, I suspect that the enemy is taking a decent bit of casualties in this combat. It was 226 versus 166, so now it's 210 versus 155. So I think, well, we're taking a bit more casualties. We've still got some more troops in the reserves, so we can afford doing troop rotation for a while, I reckon. Which I don't think, well, the enemy can't do the same thing, in that combat at least. Oh, and there we go, down to 2 units in Taidong. Almost there. There's just 1 division defending. There we go. 20,000 casualties for us, mind you. But if we can take that one, we'll have the enemy already surrounded in here, which at that point we could probably actually just let them try attack us for a little while we regroup. I'm going to go ahead and take some of these units already out of the combat to start digging in. There we go. We're taking the province. And the enemies now will have the... Actually, yeah, they do have the encirclement penalty already. Of course, our troops are not really quite ready to start doing another attack there yet. So we can afford waiting for a little while. I think we're just going to go ahead and stop that combat for now. So it's a major defeat. Lost 40,000 men on that, but, you know, it's 40 manpower. We'll get that in about 10 days. So I'm not too concerned about it. I still got the ships in there. I suppose what I could do, the light bombers, let them rest, and we'll take the naval bombers again. Just do some port strikes. Not continuous. We need to have a bit of rest for the troops before we can do too much. But what we can do, hopefully, is damage the ships at least. And maybe damage the port in such a way that they can't bring as much... oh, they intercepted our planes. Well, that means that our ships aren't going to be active for a little while. We've still got other submarines in here, which can probably stay there for now. Do we have any more submarines, though? We do actually have more submarines, okay. We could just combine those into one group, actually. It might give us a bit of a stacking penalty, but it shouldn't be too bad. And that might be enough to... Especially if we have another combat against the battleships after the battle for Pingdong. We should be able to do pretty good damage on the enemy in there. How's the battle for Busan? We might need to start retreating some of the units already. Like the armored division is... Well, it's got 30 organization. That's not too bad. There's the... One of the divisions in here. That one needs to pull back. The bombing runs, I mean, we're still dealing okay damage on the planes even when they're doing bombing runs, so they're probably taking a lot of hits as well. But we need to keep the battle going for a while. I mean, if we can get rid of some of these elite light infantry divisions in here, or just start getting rid of a whole lot of the garrisons, that also could work, then we can still win this. And of course, we do still have some troops that are capable of moving or joining in the combat again. Like, we've got the mercenary infantry in here. We've actually got 3 infantry divisions in here total. And then we should have 2 in this western province, in Mazan. So, yeah, we got that mostly covered. Of course, still clearing out the rest of the island in here in Taiwan is going to be a bit of a chore. But we'll get that sorted out eventually. We've got the submarines now heading towards the South Taiwan Strait. Still going to take a little while, mind you, but it is underway. We're getting the next set of naval bombers as well in... actually, in January for the most part, I would say. Oh, right, we're getting the light cruisers in January. Right, so what do we have in the fleet again? So there's the submarines, there's passenger ships. I should probably rename this. And that's the destroyers, so we can call this the first destroyer fleet, I suppose. Or let's call it the first DD. And then we've got the artillery vessels. Those are not really going to be something that we need too much. And this is going to be the first submarine fleet. We'll combine the other 3 submarines in here. But yeah, we need to get a decent bit of organization before we can clear out the port. But I have a feeling that the Battle of Busan is going to take a while, although I think they are actually losing maybe a little bit ground, or there may have been some changes in the combat width again. Ooh, ground force focus advanced, there we go. So we built some troops slightly faster. We've got a little bit of troops underway, mind you. So improving that speed is not a bad idea. Although let me just double check. So we got the economy focus still at about 270 days. So we can keep the ground force focus going for a little while. I'm going to try to balance them both at level 1 for now. Also, we're going to get some landing craft soon enough. Actually, that reminds me. We've got the first landing craft fleet over here already. How much do they have shore bombardment? 0.5. Okay, so if we were to bring them in here somewhere, we could potentially use those to deal some damage. Or, like, not damage directly, but give some more penalties for the enemy in there. Plus, I suppose since they got such a small amount of port capability in there, I have a feeling that they are probably a little bit low on supplies overall. Of course, they do still have the planes in there, which are causing some serious problems for us. Let these planes repair in the meanwhile. Some of the units that we have in here are actually capable of fighting again, but it's probably best to just wait. There's also a British... oh, there's a midget submarines there, okay. Right, so let's reorganize these. So there's a small position penalty, but it's not too bad. Although, technically speaking, if we were to push... So 4 submarines would give us the best situation, I suppose. I guess if we were to rebase this in Xiamen. So we don't have any hull penalty. We can have a few reserve submarines there, I suppose. Yeah, 3 days we'll get another landing craft. So that would give us a 2 shore bombardment total with the landing craft fleet. Which is still quite tiny in comparison, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. Actually, I suppose instead of doing the port strikes, go ahead and start doing the runway cratering. I think that might actually be the better option right now. Wreck the enemy interceptors in here. I think it's interceptors that they have in here. Although they could also have interceptors over there, so it's not necessarily a guaranteed result right now. Alright, so we need to pull back the armored division. We could probably send in the mercenary division from here into the combat. Still got quite a bit of... oh, actually, that one... Yeah, that one's the one that we just sent in. There we go. Alberta's definitely a good skill level. Probably getting a pretty good amount of traits there. But I suspect that if we just start wrecking some of these garrisons in here, that's going to start rotating the enemy troops a lot faster. And then we'll slowly win this, but it's probably going to take another month at least before this battle is over. But we're going to probably go on speed 3 in the meanwhile, while we're just waiting mostly. Especially waiting for some organization for these troops. How bad is this? Ah, right, the infrastructure is quite horrendous over here. I'm going to go ahead and take some of these units then. Retreat them back to Taichung. And then regain organization there. I mean, that's a whole lot better infrastructure. Could we... Well, I suppose we could even send one of these back there. These are at least regaining their organization fairly nicely. Okay, there's one of the enemy light infantry divisions that is down to 47% strength. Another one is 67, and then one is 87. There's some there's a garrison, or the cavalry unit over here has to taking pretty hefty casualties. That could actually be what we need to do. Like, that is actually going to be surrendering then. Oh, and there we go. Combat will increase, so there's even more troops now on both sides, I suppose. Which I suppose it might actually help the enemy a little bit more right now. There we go, there's the landing craft. Although I suppose that does mean there's more enemy units that are taking hits now, so that helps. I suspect that the cavalry unit over here is... oh, I think that's just surrendered. No, it did not. No, the combat went back to the usual. Oh, export tungsten to Cuba? Sure, we can do that. Oh, infantry unit combiners arms advanced. There we go. That'll be quite handy in this combat. We've got quite a bit of infantry in here, so all of that getting a bit of increase in the combined arms bonus definitely give it a pretty decent bonus overall. So we just need to get rid of that cavalry division. There's... oh, that one's down to 44%. So once one of these surrender, then some more will start shattering soon enough. And then, well, they've still got another 25 that we need to go through. But, hey, air-launched torpedoes advanced. There we go. So sea attack is improved. And, yeah, that combat is just going... we've got some more troops in here now. So we could probably go ahead and send this one all the way to the southeast. And then let these start regaining... oh, yeah, that's a huge difference in the organization regain. It's like, it should be about 3 times the org regain there now. So, yeah, that'll be good. That one's actually regaining the organization already pretty decent. Once we get to, like, 50 organization, most of these, we're going to start sending them to the front line. And then once we're ready, or we've got enough of the troops in here, we can start attacking into the port. Oh, and we have damaged the airfield there. There we go. Of course, they are still probably... actually, how are our light bombers doing? They need a bit of organization. But they didn't take too much damage, at least. Oh, right, that reminds me. Okay, 40 hours, then we can clear out these two again. Iliescu's division is going to be used in not necessarily the most advantageous operations right now. We have gotten rid of the cavalry division, I think. Indeed, we have. There we go. And there's some of the garrisons now that are pretty close to shattering. There's also the light infantry division, or the elite light infantry division that is looking a bit rough. We might need to pull back the... well, our British division soon enough. It's down to 21 organization. But we can probably keep these going for a little bit longer. The sooner we can wreck some of the enemy units, the sooner we can then win the combat. Of course, we've still got some reserve troops in here that are in pristine condition, effectively. But there's also some units like this one that could probably use a bit of rest. We'll go and pull that off the combat, and then we'll send in another one in. Ooh, aircraft project evaluation, there we go. More range on our planes, and some better combat stats as well. Getting another airfield as well. And the assault gun is going to be done for the battle commander soon enough. But I think we can probably get a bit of truce. Also, before I forget, Soviet Union, I want to buy some more rare materials from you. I'm just doing it one at a time, just because that's the most efficient way to... well, I mean, technically speaking, you buy whatever they are willing to sell it. But, like, just getting trade deals with them so we can start drifting faster and faster towards the Comintern. Because right now, there's still quite a bit of drifting towards the Allies as well. So, technically speaking, we should be drifting... okay, yeah, we're drifting 0.42 to the left. And, or, well, yeah, left. And then 0.28 towards the south, or downwards. So, we are slowly drifting down that way, but it's going to require quite a bit more than that. Of course, do I have a lot of trade with the various allied nations? I do. Actually, most of this is actually with Axis. There's the Belgium trade, but we want that money. So, yeah, no, that's just going to have to be it. For the time being, anyway. But down to 33 units total in Busan. I suspect that soon enough there's going to be several more that will disappear, but they have gotten some more proper infantry divisions into the combat now. We'll go ahead and... oh, there's a bit of lag spike because it's Christmas. Well, let's wade through that then. And there we go. So, we're going to go ahead and pull back Albertus from the combat. It's probably got quite a bit more experience now. And we might pull in... well, that one's below 20 organizations, so that can be pulled back. We can send in these two to take their place. Actually, didn't Albertus get any trade? Oh, yeah, he did. So he's got the Order of the Red Star 3rd class, so it's a bit more speed bonus in hills, mountains, woods, and forests. Bit more experience bonus and experience gain. There we go. And we've still got 6 units in reserve, so we've got a fairly good amount of troops still to spare in here. Right, how's the organization situation in Taiwan? I think that one's 44. That we can probably start heading southeast. And the rest of these could still stay a while. These are also not necessarily in the best condition. We can probably send that one up north. Because what I could do, I could do a quick little test attack in here. Let's see, that's 37 units. Okay, that's going to take a while. They do have supply issues, but I'm going to go ahead and pull back, let them start doing counterattacks. Maybe. Or maybe not. Well, ideally they would start doing counterattacks. And they would defeat them that way. But they did fly away their planes again, so that's kind of useful, actually. How's the Battle of Busan looking like? Oh. Right, they're going to start having a bit more units shattering. They still got 31 units total in the combat. And we've got another one that is... Okay, from Masan, we've got another infantry division that should probably pull back. This one. Oh, looking on the units that have been pulled back from the combat already. There's still one, at least in here, that is in full strength. Of course, it doesn't actually need to go into the combat yet. We've got the blitzing over there. There we go. The Taz is also a pretty experienced leader. It's got the Tank Buster Master. Oh, my. Fair enough. I don't think the enemies have a lot of tanks in there, though. Well, I've got a little bit of armor, I suppose, but nothing too great. Okay, I'm going to switch the interceptors over here to actually do intercepting. Probably daily will do on this area. So we'll actually go ahead and fight those particular planes rather than, you know, just flying about in here. And then we're going to break these enemies one by one. Oh, we've got a few trades. Oh, USA wants to buy supplies, sure. And Peru wants to buy supplies. Right, so we've brought in some more troops there. These are a bit low on organization, or well, low on fuel, actually. Not so much organization. Oh, tank destroyer advance, there we go. How far are we on the... Okay, we can keep on researching that one then. Actually not far from getting the high density alloy again. That'd be quite useful. We do still need to get the medium velocity gun to level 3, which we are already researching. But once we get that, we can then get the high velocity gun, and that's going to unlock a lot of the medium tank destroyers and the likes of that. Maybe even the heavy assault gun at some point. Actually, that requires the heavy armor to be a lot higher. Never mind. Right, any of these ready to... Well, no. I mean, this one's someone that we could maybe move over here already. The situation is not the best. Where are we? Okay, we're still getting supply from Taichung. That one hasn't repaired fully yet. But I suppose that would be more central location right now anyway. Still taking pretty hefty casualties over here from the north, thanks to the enemy bombardment, but we are at least about to shatter 2 of the light infantry divisions, I reckon. And after that, well, there's still a whole lot of garrisons and some infantry, but that is the main fighting force that they have in here. So once those, well, at least 2 of those are gone, then it's going to be a lot easier for us. But the battle for Busan is going to take quite a while still. Oh, we got the Bank of International Settlements. I shall go ahead and get the extra science, get some more leadership going, because we need all the leadership that we can get right now. Now, we might have a bit of extra in officers again, so we can go ahead and reduce that to maybe 8 leadership. But with the big combats that we're going to be having for the time being, we need to get a bit more in there, I reckon. Oh, I think we shattered the... Yeah, one of the elite light infantry units is now done. There's another one that is below 30% strength, so that's probably going to pull back soon enough. We might need to pull back some more units from here. Let's see, so this one's below 20 organizations, so we'll pull that one out. Do we have anyone else in? Well, I suppose that could probably draw him back in. Uh-oh, there's a partisan behind the lines. Luckily, this time around, we've got a infantry division pretty close by, and then we'll go to 1 in the meanwhile. So, have we... Yeah, we haven't cleared out this one yet, but we're moving in there, at least. We cleared out the partisan. Oh, and it's 1st of January, so let's go ahead and get the economic boost. We'll probably go just with the short-term investment, quite frankly. Espionage focus, what do we have? Economic spying? It's probably good enough to hold onto that for the time being. And then I suppose that one's pretty much it in terms of the not the research, but in terms of the decisions. Of course, there is the research, but we don't... Oh, and we got some more production to put in. I'm just going to go ahead and set up some more infantry divisions. Actually, no, what I could do is I could start building another mechanized division. Put in some, maybe armored battalion in there. We'll put in, of course, the division HQ, half-track transport. Motorized engineer is probably good enough. We don't actually have the armored engineer unlocked yet anyway. Actually, we could... no, armored car that we have is kind of rubbish. Motorized engineer aren't that great either, to be fair. We could... Okay, the assault gun... The stats of it aren't that great, but it does give some armor in there. It reduces its softness quite a bit. So there's one option. We could, of course, always just put in... Actually, we got the piercing already at 29. We could put in... Actually, we'll put... no. Heavy AA doesn't give it that much more. So it would be a bit of a waste. We could put the armored support. And then, let's see, self-propelled artillery would give us a bit of capabilities in there. And let's see, what else do we want? So the armored support, I suppose we could just still put in the motorized engineer in there. Although, I don't know, that would increase the softness quite a bit, actually. So maybe we'll just put in the assault gun. So it's softness 21. We could... It's a bit expensive unit, to be fair. I guess we could build it as a reserve. It'll be slightly cheaper that way for us right now, at least. Of course, it uses... it has a lot of armored units in there, so it's going to be bloody expensive. Since our armor practical is 1.5. That will be going up soon enough once we get these two. We do have a bit of infantry underway already. We don't really need too much of it currently, although once we start helping the Soviets, then we'll need some... Oh, and the Soviets have had some parts... Oh, veteran unit. Oh. Okay, so where did that go? Oh, went for this? Okay, so we've got veteran HQ division, or division HQ in here. We'll just separate that for now. I wonder, we might still have some of the mercenary divisions that could use a veteran HQ. I'm going to start sending that one over here. Oh, it's part of the mercenary division. Oh, right, because that one's part of the mercenary division, or mercenary corps. Fair enough. I suppose what I could even do is start sending this one eastward, at least up to Korea, or close to Korea. And how are we doing over here? Well, we're still doing damage, although we're also taking quite a bit of damage. There's another infantry division from here that needs to develop out of the combat. Do we have... well, we've got 3 divisions in the 4 divisions, actually not in the combat right now. We could probably go ahead and send in, actually, some more infantry from here. And then, well, how about... we still got 4 extra units in there. Of course, that is without the front line extension. Oh, or front width extension. Okay, alright, we... Oh, well, Vigifrance has been annexed. So, autarky. I don't think we actually need that right now, so I'm going to say no this time. That actually reminds me, can we do another trade with the Soviets? We can. So we'll just go ahead and buy another rare material. So we're already at 100, it should be 110 relations right now. So we now have a look at the speed that we drift. It's 24 towards Comintern. So yeah, it's slowly starting to pick up some speed, but we need to increase the relations with the Soviets a lot more to stay on course. Of course, with save editing, I can set myself in the Comintern if need be, but I'd rather get there legit. Initially, at least. But yeah, a lot of our troops are now starting to lose quite a bit of organization. But we have managed to destroy at least some of the enemy units in there. Oh, and there's the IC efficiency. Oh, it went down a little bit. It's not the worst situation, though, but yeah, it could be better. But I'd rather destroy a few more units there before I pull back the entire... Well, not necessarily the entire army, but there's another unit at least that needs to pull back from there. I think we might not be able to punch through quite yet, especially without any proper air support. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull back from this. It's a major defeat. We lost 64,000 men, they lost 46,000, plus I think a few more than that, actually. But now they might do some counterattacks. But since we haven't taken the rest of Taiwan yet either, it's probably fine. We can start digging in here, so those planes are going to be hopefully disappearing. And these are starting to be still a bit shy on fuel. But beyond that, they should be mostly fine. We got the... there we go, light cruiser. I'm going to go ahead and actually, I suppose I could build up the destroyer fleet over here to have a bit of cruisers. It can have 12 ships. And it doesn't have any sacking penalty yet, at least. So these are redeploying in. We'll hopefully have the supplies in here. I mean, we've got fairly good supply or organization situation for most of these troops now. So I think we can start attacking into the port soon enough. They have still very tiny capacity to bring in supplies, so they must have had supply issues throughout the entire thing. Oh, and the Soviets, sure, we can sell you a bit of crude oil. That's the second cruiser. So how are we doing actually on the cruiser practical now? We got 3.5, okay. So that should speed up the next set of cruisers, which would be the heavy cruisers. Well, actually, no, that's 1944. That's a full year still for those. What about the... There's some destroyers. These cruisers are going to be done... Oh, September next year. Okay, so yeah, the heavy cruisers are going to be the next ones. They're not exactly the best of units, necessarily. I want to have at least the troops available. So right now, we're just waiting for these troops to be ready to attack, and then we'll start doing a massive attack into the port. And hopefully we can destroy as much of the enemy units there as possible. And then we'll just need to clear out Busan. But we did manage to reduce the number of units there at least to some degree, but our troops need a bit of rest. And while we did take the a loss from that, it's still... I think we're still mostly fine. Right, I think it's... actually, we'll leave one unit at least behind on every province. Well, there's several units over here that are not ready to attack yet, so we'll leave those 3 behind. And then over here we'll leave maybe the 3rd division behind. So... it's a lot easier than I thought. Right, because most of them are completely out of organization. They haven't had supplies in here for a while, I reckon. Well, it's maybe a bit of an overkill then. Oh, there we go. We got the assault gun sorted out. Yeah, there we go. I mean, needs probably a bit of upgrades in there. But that will definitely help. Oh, and there we go. Victor Ping Dong. Oh, right. Let's go ahead and send in the naval bombers. We do naval strikes day and night there. And then we'll have the close air support over here to... Well, those are already set to be doing naval strikes over here during daytime. They do a bit of a ground attack on us. Oh, payment received. There we go. Yeah, that's why they're using their bombers now. They probably might be actually flying all the way from Kyushu or something. Ooh, medium artillery brigades to level 2 finally. Artillery is definitely not up to date. Although we're just slightly, or slowly, I suppose the basic artillery is not that far behind. We haven't even taken the rocket artillery yet. But to be fair, we could probably do that one. Then get the rocket, also prepare rocket artillery. And then we can use Katyushas, essentially. Well, we won't get the special tech for it, but it'll be better than nothing. Also get the port over there, then it's probably time to start evacuating at least the Mountaineer Corps out of here. And maybe some other units, although the Mountaineer Corps, seeing that this is mostly mountainous provinces in here, it's not necessarily the worst corps to stay in there, but I think we can use that elsewhere. Then after that, it's basically, I suppose what I could do even is transport the troops first into Shanghai, and then transport them into Korea. Like some of the troops. We'll leave at least one corps of troops in Taiwan itself. But we will have the island at least in our control. And after that, it's basically time for us to clear out Busan. We'll just regain some organization in here in the meanwhile. I suppose what I could do is I could go ahead and build a bit of infrastructure around this place. At least over there. This one's not too bad. We can maybe give it a level. Queue these up. Those are going to be done in April. And we're actually getting some airfields done as well. Tomorrow, in fact. That'll be quite handy. And Inter-Service HQ. Oh, there we go. Reduces the delay between attacks. That's something that we can now delay for a while at least. And actually, I haven't not put in the 1943 text into research yet. Not that there's necessarily too much that we need to research. Absolutely right. Well, actually, there are some research over here, at least, that we need to do. And the construction, there's not too much. The infantry, well, there's the defensive positions, which would be quite handy. Engineer unit training. And of course, there's the artillery things. And artillery fire control techniques, that's actually quite handy. Gives a little bit attack value on basically all terrains. For all the artillery units. So it's all nice upgrades there. Oh, right, we don't need the tenacious defense training. The elite commander units could be kind of handy for unlocking the strike commander brigade. But we don't really need that right now. There's the Arctic warfare equipment, which I'm going to research that because that's going to allow us to get the asymmetric warfare. Well, we'll get the ski brigade first and then we can get that one. So it gives the infantry a bit of heart attack and some woods and forest defense. But that's not too shabby at all. Right, oh, actually, how far are we from... Right, armor engineer... we need to get the bridge and assault weapons upgraded. Then we're going to get the armor engineers. Okay, then. Anything in here that we're not researching already? Yeah, I think we're doing most of the research already that we can. Actually, how's that? Okay, close air support would be even better against tanks and such. But I think we're not going to take that one quite yet. We could get the aerodynamics at least upgrading. And in the avionics, there's probably several things. Well, actually, not avionics, but there's... ooh, acoustic torpedo. There we go. We could also maybe get a little bit of torpedo upgrade in there. That reminds me, we did we... Oh, yeah, we're still getting the air-launched torpedo. Over here, we're getting most of the research already sorted out. Cruisers, we're still doing quite a bit of research. We're not going to go for the capital stuff. We've got the seaplane tender, but that's about it. I don't think we'll have carriers. I mean, it takes so long time to build any carriers that it's... if you don't start working on it from the get-go, you really won't be getting a lot of carriers. Unless it's a very, very long game. Which, to be fair, this might end up being. Not going to initially do the naval stuff too much yet. The air stuff we're still researching slowly. Operation stuff, oh, we still haven't gotten the armor unit combined arms at all. Ah, jungle unit training, yeah, that could be quite useful. Special Forces combined arms, and then over here is there, well, there's the Army Group HQ, I suppose. And that's about it. There we go. So, 231 research. That's a decent bit. Now we... Oh, right. We did get the port now. There we go. Oh, and the enemy... Oh, there we go. We've found them. We're getting some hits on at least some of the units. I don't know if we'll be able to catch them in there. We'll put in the naval strikes over there. We'll still got the close air support, technically speaking, doing bombing runs in here on naval strike day and night. Let's double check if we can't find them. Identity alloy, there we go. And fighter bomber to interceptor conversion advance, there we go. And we did find the, oh, there we go, there's the transport ship. I don't think we damaged it quite enough, but we did at least get some hits in there. Well, there's the battleships now. Hopefully our submarines get there in time. Oh no, I think they just got it. Okay, well, they run away. There's some American submarines over here as well. Alright, then let's just send the ships back. And then we can probably go ahead and send in the naval bombers and close air support. But actually, what I could even do with the close air support is start bringing these up here somewhere. For the preparation on the round 2 on Busan. Also, I suppose what I should really do is get a bit of airfield or air bases in Taiwan. Just start building those up all the way, essentially. And maybe get a little bit more naval bases in here. And also, I suppose, are we getting radar in here? Not yet. We could probably get a radar in there. Give it like a few levels at least. But with that, we are unfortunately out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, get the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.